Welcome back to Platinum Pursuit. It's Hunted here today with Echoes of the End. A few quick things to know. This guide will take you from the start all the way through the Platinum while avoiding spoilers and letting you discover the game at your own pace. We will cover all 106 collectibles throughout the game, as well as each and every miscellaneous and combat trophy as we earn them. The Platinum will require 2 different playthroughs. Our first will be on challenge difficulty while we collect everything and earn the lion's share of the trophies. And once that's done, we will start a new Game Plus file and speedrun our way through the game on story mode, cleaning up a few trophies here and there where needed. This is also the first ever guide on the channel that comes with a complete sister guide on our website. You can click the link in the description or go to www.platpursuit.com to be taken to our written roadmap version of this guide, complete with a full and free checklist of collectibles, as well as mini guides for every trophy. With that, let's jump into Echoes of the End. Hello and welcome to Echoes of the End. We are getting set and ready to go for our first playthrough. Now, before we get started, there's only one option that really matters for us, and it's optional for you if you want to do it. Head into the options, go to gameplay, and if you scroll down, there's puzzle hints right here. There are, I think there's 3 total trophies in this game that require us to complete a puzzle without using hints. So if for some reason you feel like you may be inclined to use them, or you might forget about it or something, you can disable that here so you're not tempted to. But anyway, that's the only option that we really care about. We can go ahead and get started. Our first playthrough of this game, we will want to play on this challenge mode. Make sure that you do not change the difficulty at any point during the game or it will invalidate the trophy. So you have to start and finish in challenge mode to get the trophy. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think we're ready to go. Let's start the game. All right, here we are in chapter number 1. We are pretty much right at the beginning of the game. You just kind of walk down from that's kind of where you spawn up there. You walk down here, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to actually fail. So you're going to come up to this jumping tutorial. All you got to do for a trophy is fall into the pit. And there you go.
You okay, Rin?
Keep pressing forward through the chapter. You'll come to this rope tutorial, and very similarly to the first trophy that we earned, we need to fail this as well. You can literally just run off the ledge, and you'll get another trophy.
I'm fine. Just hold on.
Okay, so very quickly after the rope, you can see the rope down there that we just did. You climb up here. There's a chest right there, if you can see it. That's going to be our first journal of the game. So what you're going to want to do is just run along this way. You can't get it from here, but if you go around this side and around the outside, you can come up to it and grab the journal. Now, a little bit farther through the chapter, you're going to find yourself sort of at the bottom of this cave area. You come in from right up there, and you'll kind of scale the wall downward to get into this area. And you're going to come down here. You'll want to go left to continue moving forward. But before you do that, turn to the right. And there is this chest back here. This contains the second journal of the game. All right, so keep moving forward. You'll come up to this puzzle behind us. It's not a puzzle, but it's your first time using the shift ability. And once you do that, you'll climb up this wall. You'll go ahead and move forward. And before you turn right to head to the next part, turn left here at the fork. And there is another journal here in this chest. All right, so here we are in the first combat encounter of the game. And we'll go ahead and learn how to use a couple of abilities while getting a couple of trophies. So first thing we're going to do is if you hit L2 and then release when you're on an enemy, you'll do this. And if we keep doing this over and over again to this enemy, eventually we're going to pop a trophy for keeping him stunned for 6 seconds. So there we go. I finally managed to get it. I don't know why it didn't pop the first time. You just kind of have to mess around with the enemies a little bit. Okay, I went ahead and reloaded the checkpoint so we can work on another one. You certainly don't need to do this now, but might as well show you the trophy. So the next one is we want to shift the enemy towards us and then hit him with an attack immediately, and it's a pretty easy trophy. You can do a pretty decent amount of damage to him too. Alright, so the next trophy is to kill 2 enemies with 1 shift. So you kind of want to get them both low and throw them into each other, and you'll be able to do just that. If you need to, you can always retry. Unfortunately, I forgot this cutscene exists, So again, just for the sake of explanation, grab one enemy and just shift them into another enemy, and it does damage to both enemies, so just get them both low, shift one into the other, and it's an easy trophy. Now, immediately after that first encounter, you will see this hanging body by the campfire, and you can get the first optional conversation of the game.
Reich and all colors.
Okay, quickly head into the next area. After that fight, you'll head through that door. There you can even see the guy through the door. But you'll be in this section, and now, before you head to that rope bridge, or the climbing rope there, there's a little pathway down to the right to this small little sandy area. And then there's this chest to the left. Make sure you grab that. Continue moving forward. You'll slide down this hill here into this camp area. There will be some enemies to fight, and after you vanquish them, if you look to the left, there is this tent, and inside the tent, there is this chest, and this is our first permanent health upgrade of the game.
That's curious.
Quickly moving along through the chapter, you'll roll this torch up to a set of vines, and once you burn the vines, it will drop this bridge. As soon as the bridge is down, you can cross, and then we are going to turn to the right around this wall, and in the back here is another journal. Alright, keep following the path, and you'll eventually find this area here before you move forward. And by the way, we kind of dropped down from this ledge. We got up there using a cube that we pulled down after we took out a couple enemies. So you'll find yourself here, jump down, and then before you head forward, there's a couple things to grab. Before you grab that conversation, you can jump in through this window. A little awkward. You can also run around the outside, but either way, go ahead and grab this chest for a journal. Now, from this journal, if you turn around, you can walk out this way, through here, and make sure you just grab the optional conversation.
Oh, man, look at this.
Okay, so after this little puzzle that you're going to do to light the 3 torches and burn the vines to move to the next area, you'll have to knock down this bridge as well to allow Core to get across to help you. Once you do knock it down, though, you can follow the bridge instead. If you head up into this area, climb up here, jump across, and there is your journal, sorry. Alright, keep heading along, and it's a little ways further. You'll go ahead and you're going to slide down a hill. I guess you can't really see it. You'll slide down a hill and like blast open the wooden barricade as you're sliding, and then you'll reach this ward. You'll have a little bit of a cutscene and then climb up into this region. So after you're done climbing up here, as soon as you get here, you're going to want to make your way forward. You can see that's the path, obviously, that we need to go towards the next ward, but you're going to want to just turn the corner to the right, and there is this chest with another journal entry in it. Alright, keep moving forward, and you'll eventually reach this camp. There'll be a pretty large battle in here that you'll need to do. You can obviously see that unsightly beast right there. But after you clear out this camp, you'll be able to move forward, and as you're leaving, you shouldn't miss this one. It's right on your way. You can head up to this ledge and look out over. Start optional conversation number 3.
Having second thoughts about the ranger life.
Okay, keep moving forward throughout the chapter. You will have gone across a couple of gondola-like things, and you'll be boosting core up into these areas. I think this is the 3rd time we've boosted him, maybe 4th time we've boosted him up. It's you'll boost him after you do the gondola section again. He'll burn this, you'll jump across and climb up, and then once you are up here, you'll pretty quickly see there's a fork in the road. Core will run off ahead, and you don't have to follow him immediately. From this fork, you can go left and jump across here. And we're just going to follow this trail back a little ways. You'll have to drop down over to this on the right. You can jump across to these vines. And up here is a mana upgrade, our first one of the game. So go ahead and grab that. All right, I'm a little bit farther into the chapter now. You are going to come across your second group of these humanoid enemies. They're called Dullsmen. And what we need to do is another combat trophy. We're right here by this cliff, which gives us a perfect opportunity to kill 2 enemies at the same time by pushing them off of a cliff. There will be actually 3 here. And what we can do is we can walk into this and kind of bait them over towards the cliff. Just make sure you don't get hit. You kind of want to group them up. They'll do a pretty good job of grouping themselves up here. And now, if you just come and push them a couple times, like so, it really doesn't have to be exactly at the same time, but there you go. That is easy enough for that trophy, and now we can keep moving forward. Okay, so pretty quickly after that encounter, you'll be able to zip line down through this area, obviously jumping between the zip lines. And as soon as you land, instead of turning right to go fight some more enemies, you can turn to the left, and there's this wall to climb up here. This is the last collectibles, or secret, whatever you want to call it, of the chapter, and this is another health box. So go ahead and open that. Alright, so here we are in yet another encounter. This time you've got 4 enemies to contend with. And what we need to do is we need to get 3 of them down low. I mean, you should get all 4 of them pretty low. Alright, here we go. I've got all 4 of them pretty low. So now you're going to want to get them together if possible. You need at least 3, and now we're going to use 1 blast to kill all 3 of them, and there is the trophy. You don't have to do it here. There are certainly points later in the game to do it, but if you want to do it now, go for it. And yeah, just make sure you keep enough mana for the blast, things like that. It's really not that hard of a trophy. All right, here we are in Chapter 2. As soon as you enter the chapter, you're going to walk forward, and you'll actually see the next collectible we're grabbing up there on that ledge. So the way to get up there is you're going to walk to this edge, and if you look down, you can actually drop down into here, head back this way. You'll have to move this thing over to yourself, and then you can climb up this wall. And once you're up here, all we have to do is just scamper across this, and we will have the next mana upgrade. So go ahead and grab that. Alright, so here we are in the first encounter in Chapter 2. You're going to come across these bugs. They're called Glamori. So I'm going to pause real quick, and this trophy requires this ability right here. It's called Devastation to do. So when they get close, hold L2 and then R1, and you can slam the ground like that, run up and press triangle, and you will get the trophy. Alright, continue moving through Chapter 2. And you'll eventually make your way around this waterfall area. Back through here, you'll kind of pass by this falls and things like that. And once you get up to this broken bridge, you can jump across to this next section. And right in the middle here is an optional conversation, so grab that.
Who's the statue supposed to be?
Immediately after that broken bridge, you are going to make your way down the zip line there. You'll land here at the bottom of the platform. Turn on this luminar, and then you're going to just head forward. Before you keep going, you can see there's a chest off to the right. This chest is the next journal entry, so grab that. Okay, moving through the chapter a little bit farther, you're going to come across this puzzle where you toggle the luminaire and the platforms move in and out. And what we're going to want to do, so first thing, you'll climb up this one, and there will be some stone rot at the top that you have to clear out. You will get this cube as your reward, and you are just going to want to push the cube across the way here to kind of slot it in between these platforms. And with the cube in position, go ahead and use it to climb up here. And now what we're going to want to do is to take the cube and sort of circle around us here, kind of put it into an area a little bit closer against that wall where we can jump to it. And the reason we're doing that is because we can jump across to this chest as well. And this is the next journal. All right, keep it moving through the chapter. Eventually, you and Abram will get split up for a moment. After you regroup with him up towards the top here, you'll want to head through this archway to continue the chapter. He will come from this path when you meet him. So before you go through the archway, if you turn and take the path that he came through, you can walk back this way. And if you keep following it over to the right, around the corner, there is a chest sitting right here. Okay, so from this chest, we need to do something a little silly for a trophy. After you grab it, if you remember, this is where this was the ledge you were trying to climb up, and you wouldn't take his hand. So what we actually need to do is to drop back down here.
Why did you do that?
And he'll question you as to why you dropped down, and we're going to go ahead, run all the way around and make your way back up. And once you reach him, you'll want to go back to that ledge and do it all over again. You have to do it twice in a row. Drop down and you'll grab the trophy.
I get it. You can make your own way up.
Okay, here we are immediately at the beginning of chapter 3. As soon as you make it out of the tunnels, you're going to be in this open area. And before you head forward, head to this building on the right. And right inside here is our next journal. Now, after you grab that chest, exit out of the building. And we are going to head back this way. We're going to go down the first path here on the right, straight down, and we're going to overlook this big cliff area. And you can see there's an optional conversation to grab, so head on up to it and talk to Abram.
Oh, would you look at that?
All right, so here we are a little bit farther in the chapter. You'll come to the point where you're meant to climb up the rope and scamper across those vines. We just did the first preserver puzzle of the chapter, and you get up this way. Now, once you are up here, before you head up this rope, you can turn right, follow the path, and the chest is here at the end, so go ahead and grab that for another journal. Okay, keep moving through the chapter. Eventually, you're going to come over here. You'll cross these wooden beams, and you will have another preserver puzzle to do. You're going to drop this one real quick, and there is a collectible for us to grab. First thing we want to do is head through here, and if you turn the corner, you can climb up this way. We're going to break this down. We're going to use this to come over here and grab this. With that grabbed, head back this way, and then we can jump down. You can see there's another preserver down here as well. Now, once you do this one, you will see it builds the arch, but it also builds these columns. And the columns are the important bit because we want to climb up here. We can go around this way. And then we are going to jump across the columns.
What are you doing up there?
I spotted something.
Like so. And then all we have to do is walk over here, drop down, and the chest is right here at the bottom. Okay, after you've solved that preserver puzzle that we just did, we come from over there. You'll kind of head across this area towards the next section. If you jump across over to here, you'll see you have the cairn there that you can recover at, and then you'll want to head forward to go to the next area. Before you go to the next area, if you look to the left from the cairn, you can drop down here to the chest, or if you rather just from here, you can turn and take these stairs downward, and the chest is sitting right here on the ground, so go ahead and grab that. All right, keep moving on through the chapter. You will come into this next section after you grab that chest. You come in from right there. You'll fight an enemy with a large shield, and once you've defeated that enemy, you'll just want to keep moving forward. Now, there is, if you continue to go straight, there's another combat encounter. Obviously, you can see right there. But before you do that, head to the right, and there's this sort of pathway between the rocks that you can run back into. And here on the corner, at the corner here, is another journal. Okay, after grabbing that last chest, come into the combat encounter and take out the enemies. You can come in through this way, or you can take the path back out the same way you came in. Either way, with the enemies defeated, before you move forward, there's a hill over here to the left. So head up the hill, and there will be a wooden wall here. I destroyed the wall already, but you'll be able to overlook the enemies down there. Either way, go ahead and grab the journal here. All right, so those enemies that you were overlooking there on that cliff, go ahead and take them out. And once they're done, you'll see these ruins here to the right. We're going to want to head inside. All you got to do is climb up this way. You can drop down right here over this cliff, and around the corner inside the ruin themselves is the journal. All right, keep moving through the chapter, and after a little while, a bit of some climbing, you learn how to use Abram's stasis power and things like that. You're going to come across this Dalsman camp. Once you get up here, there will be a combat encounter to do, so once the enemies are taken care of, you can see that there is a chest back behind this gate. We're going to go ahead and grab that. And to do that, we're going to turn to the right over here. And there is this stone rot for us to clear. And with the stone rot cleared, we can run down this passage. And finally make the jump over to that. And you will be down inside the large ruin, and the chest is right here to grab.
Wow.
Okay, so once you head into this next section here, you're going to be in this large sort of open puzzle area. If you come up here, you can get a lay of the land a little bit and see that we can alter the preservation of a whole lot of the land here. So first things first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to complete this bridge real quick. And we're doing this to get a collectible, so head over this way. And then around the corner, we're going to go ahead and take care of this stone rot, so we'll be able to get back here without needing the bridge. And what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to activate this. And if you see, these will fall down. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to stasis this guy. Go up until that platform, the one on the right, is sort of at the top edge, is touching the bottom of the ledge. So now we can let go. We can't cross the bridge, but again, since we opened up this pathway here, and head around inside through this way, and we'll be able to grab onto this, let go of the stasis, and we slot in right up here. We can climb up. All right, now then, once we're up here, go ahead and grab this energy from the preserver. We're going to come around the corner, drop down, and now if you look up there, you can see it. There's a chest right up the top. So what we're going to want to do is hit this, put that into stasis, dump into this, and we can walk on over to this, grab on, release the stasis, and it'll bring us up here. And now we can jump all the way up to the top of the ledge and open up the chest. Continue along in the chapter. Eventually, you're going to come across this camp here that's right by this, well, it's kind of, I wouldn't call it an icy shore, but, you know, this big, long shoreline. Where did you come from? Jump scare. All right, so from the camp, after you clear out the enemies, if you kind of take the central campfire and turn right here, just head along the shoreline. Around this corner is the chest sitting right here on the ground, so go ahead and grab that. All right, keep moving forward. Eventually you will head into a cave, and then you're going to climb out using this big water wheel, or these couple of big water wheels. After you do that, you'll want to head along the path. There'll be a couple of enemies to fight. Just take them out real quick. And before you head forward, and turn this corner right here, blast down this wall, and there is a journal for you. Alright, continuing through the chapter, you will eventually make it into the burning village. You'll come through the barrier here, you'll lift the pillar, whatever, and come through. There will be a pretty big fight in this section. After you take out all of the enemies, if you keep moving forward, right sort of to the right here, is a chest. It's, again, not that hard. It's the first right that you can make. Make sure you don't walk in the fire, by the way. If you do that, you will take damage, and it could kill you. So I would recommend not doing that. Head over here and grab this chest. All right, keep working your way through the village. You'll come to this section. Again, you'll have just made it through this door. After you do that, before you head forward, there is a little offshoot here to the right. Head across the bridge and grab this journal as well. All right, keep moving through the chapter. You will eventually come up to this ledge right here where Abram will have to help you up. Once you do that, you'll be able to see the chest across the way, so let's go and grab it. The drop down, of course, and then head this way up. And we can open this next journal. Alright, so eventually you'll make your way out of the burning village. We just climbed over the ledge, and now we're heading up this pathway. You're going to keep running on forward, and as you climb up this hill, if you look, there is this wooden, almost looks like a gazebo, but I think it's like a more of a tower structure. But right here, there is an optional conversation to grab, so do that.
Ladies' light, guide these folk to their well-earned rest.
All right, so you're going to head through a cave, and then you're going to reach this next area. It's kind of a split in the road. You can't really go to the right, because if you jump down, you'll jump in the water, and you'll have to respawn. So if you head left around this section, we're going to head down the stairs. So you need to go forward this way to continue on with the chapter. Before you do that, there is this pillar. There is actually a wooden barricade right here. You can obviously just punch it out of the way like so, and then climb up this rope here. Turn around. Whoa, that was weird. Turn around, jump across, and the journal entry is yours. All right, here we are in the final part of the chapter. This is the stone puzzle. Now, we're going to go grab a collectible first, but I just want to make sure that you don't ruin a trophy for yourself. There's stone rot up there. There's stone rot over there. Do not clear either of those. Let's grab the collectible first, and then we'll grab the trophy. So from here, turn to the left, and there's this wall that we can climb. Once you've climbed the wall, you'll head this way. That's the chest we're going to go grab, but we have to follow the path to the right. It's pretty straightforward. It's just another one of these obstacle courses again. All right, so I've made it to the end of the little obstacle course. You'll work your way up here, grab the zip line, and you'll zip line down to the chest. And yeah, let's go ahead, grab this, and we'll do the puzzle. Okay, here we are back at the puzzle. Now, there's a trophy for solving the puzzle without revealing the mural. As you can see, there's the mural up there. If you head over to this thing, You can clearly see that we're going to solve it. Now, you can do this, and this won't void the trophy, but if you at all clear either that stone rot or that stone rot up there, it will void the trophy, so you don't want to do that. But just a fair warning, this is a spoiler for this puzzle. I'm going to show you the solution so we can grab this trophy. If you want to do the puzzle and then come back later and get the trophy, you certainly can, but either way, I'm going to show you the solution now, so just a fair warning. Okay, so the solution to the puzzle is pretty simple. So there are some statues. You can see there's this little carving out on the ground. Some of the statues need to stay in this back sort of reset position, and then some of them need to be pushed forward towards the center. So we're going to start from here, and we're just going to go clockwise. So this guy here, he needs to stay towards the back. Then the one with the snake will pull forward. The guy holding these two orbs, he needs to stay towards the back. The scroll also needs to stay towards the back. Then this sun woman needs to be pulled forward. The jug and cup man needs to stay towards the back. And this lady with the basket of fruit or whatever that is needs to be pulled forward. And once you've done that, you'll pop the trophy as long as you didn't clear out either of the two things. And yeah, we can keep moving forward. All right, here we are in Chapter 4 now. Immediately at the beginning of the chapter, you're going to come across this waterfall and this stone bridge. When you cross the bridge, there's enemies to fight, but before you do that, if you look to the left, you can come up here, smash this down, and there's a chest for you to grab with a journal inside. All right, so here we are a little bit farther forward. This is actually our second encounter with one of these crabs. We have one trophy we need to do with him specifically, or with any of the crabs specifically. Okay, so with the Glamori cleared out, now we have the objective with any of the crab. Doesn't have to be this one. We need to throw an item and have it throw it back at us. So pretty much any item you throw at it, it should catch. You just want him to be highlighted in white. He'll catch it even if we throw it from behind him like that. And there is the trophy. All right, so keep moving on through the chapter. Eventually, you're going to come up to this gate. Now, this is the second one of these that you would have encountered up to this point. And there is a little boat right by the gate. So what we need to do for a trophy is to hop in the gate. Or not in the gate, hop in the boat, rather. And we are just going to putz around here for a little while in this tiny little pond area.
I don't think this boat's going anywhere.
And we'll get a trophy for it. So there we go. We can keep moving on.
Check everywhere thoroughly.
Well,
all right, so make it through the room over to here where you needed to activate this crystal thing. You'll learn how to double jump. And once you do that, you can head down to where Abram is standing. And from here, there's a chest up and over this way. All we need to do is double jump across. You can reach that jump. It doesn't look like you can reach it, but you can reach it. You can make some pretty big jumps in this game. So make that jump and grab the journal. All right, so here we are. We are at gate number 3 now. You can see over there in the distance, we just landed our boat. And we're going to head up these stairs. Now, Abram goes ahead of us, and he sets up to catch us on the corner. You can go ahead and jump across to him. And once he pulls you up, before you head over to the fight, turn right on this bridge, and we can make this jump across as well. And then here is a chest. And now this chest, inside of it, does have a special item that will also pop a trophy. So go ahead and open her up. And then from the chest, head over here and talk to Abram for an optional conversation.
I'm beginning to think this place is very old indeed.
All right, so after you open that last gate, you are going to be back in the boat, and you're going to come out here to this big triangular-looking thing with the 3 crystals on the top. You can see each of the crystals has a an emblem or an insignia, whatever you want to call it, in front of them. And there are 3 different islands that we have to go to. We are going to start by turning to the left and heading back this way. There is a palm tree island to stop at, so we'll do that first. All right, so you're going to make your way up to the top of the island. It kind of goes to the right first, and you'll be able to get up here. Then there's going to be this rope. It had some stone rot on it. I have already cleared the stone rot, but before you go across the rope, you're going to want to turn to the right, head back over this way, and sort of on this wooden dock is another journal for you. And now, after you grab that chest, you're going to come back down to the bottom, and once you free the left side stone rot so you can maneuver both bridges, we are going to do just that. We're going to put this one all the way to the left, and then come over here to this one, turn this, and push this all the way to the left as well. So you want to make sure that they're both aligned like so. And then we are going to run on up there, and I'll meet you at the top or I'll meet you at the bridge, rather. All right, so once we're up here, you can see there's the chest that we're going for. So we're just going to go ahead, jump across over to this rope, and then you can just follow along the bridge. There's a nice little path, easy path up here. There's actually a couple paths. We're just going to go ahead and take this rope. And then, of course, we can turn around, or to the right, rather, behind the barricade. All right, back here at the gate yet again. We are going to turn to the right this time, and there's a couple of different islands. So you can see there's one to the left, one to the right over there. You can kind of see where the sun is coming down through like that. But if you look all the way across, that is where we're headed first, right where my boat's pointing right now. All right, here we are pulling up onto the island now. You can see the 2 statues. This is an optional puzzle. It'll give us a trophy, and we'll get another upgrade here. So you're going to want to stop here, and let's do this first. All right, so here we are in front of the statues. Just a heads up, we are going to be getting into some spoiler territory. We do need to do this puzzle without using a hint, so don't use the right D-pad button. But we do need to spoil it a little bit so I can give you the solution. So fair warning for that. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, let's go ahead and get into the puzzle now. So we've got 2 statues here, and if you head forward, you can see we've got these pedestals where we can rotate the statues. And if you come over this way, you can see that this one kind of has the sun halo thing on her head. And if you look across, there's actually another exact statue with the sun and halo on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to head up here, and we're just going to rotate her to essentially look at the other statue, subsequent statue, and there we go. And now, after we've done that, come over to this other statue, and if you look to your right there, see it straight across, there is the other statue we need to lock it on. So we're just going to go ahead, rotate her around until we're lined up decently, and then you can just let go, and there you have it. Trophy is ours. All right, and of course, after you grab the trophy, head over into the little nook and grab your reward as well, another health upgrade.
What's this?
All right, so once you've gotten that chest, head into the boat, and we are going to go to the next island right here. We're going to shoot on over to this like star-looking symbol or snowflake, whatever it is, and we'll go ahead and dock there. All right, so you're going to continue until you hit this water wheel right here, and you can activate the water wheel using the crystal. So what you're going to want to do, you can see there's a, right underneath where the water is coming out, there's a ledge. That's where you're supposed to go. We are going to skip that for the moment, and we're going to let this water turn the water wheel all the way so that this goes all the way up, and we can just head down this pathway. Jump up into here. And then what we're going to want to do is jump across. We'll drop down, and now if you turn and run back this way, there is a chest here waiting for you with another journal. So then after you defeat the enemies in this section, you'll obviously want to come here and take out this stone rot. And with the stone rot cleared, before you head up on this ladder here, just turn to the right, and there's a chest around the corner. Make sure you grab that before you move on. Alright, so with that chest grabbed and the seal broken, we are going to head to the final island now. You just want to head off the docks and turn right, and you can see it's down there all the way on the other side. It has that angel wing sort of symbol on it, so go ahead and head over there. Okay, pretty much immediately on the island, you're going to come up here and you can activate this machine to raise and lower the water at will. So what we're going to want to do is, first thing, we are going to want to come across here, jump across this bridge. There'll be an enemy or two to fight over on this side, take them out. And then once they're done, you want to jump across, actually maybe not here, but down here. You're going to want to jump across to this first floating platform and lower the water down just once. Don't lower it twice. And you'll see once we're down here, we can actually jump across onto this path. And this path will allow us to head to the right, keep the water at the same level. And if you look right here, there's a hidden barricade sort of in the shadows. Bust through, and the chest is here for you. Okay, so after you've grabbed this chest, if you actually come to the end of this room right here, there will be another barricade for you to bust down. I already broke it, but you can do that, and it will lead you out into this pathway here. You can also run all the way around. You just kind of have to use the water to get yourself up to this second level. But what you're going to want to do from here is you're just going to want to jump through, make your way onto this floating platform, and push yourself up. And then once you rise up to the top here, you'll be able to head over this way, jump across. There'll be a couple enemies here. Once you've cleared them out, up by this statue of the guy with the orbs, there is another chest for you to grab, so make sure you get that. All right, now here we are with the big seal broken. You can see we just, whoa, water. We just made it through that big gate with all three of the seals broken. We made it to the dock, and then as soon as you dock and you get off the boat, you're going to want to turn to the right around this corner, and there's a chest right here for you. Alright, so here we are in the first fight of this new section. We have this big wheel, if you see, is spinning. It has spikes on the end. Pretty obvious what you're supposed to use it for. But we can get a trophy if we use it, so we're going to grab an enemy. And I just missed, of course. Alright, let's go ahead and try it again. It's a little finicky. It can be actually pretty difficult. It might even be worth just getting down to one enemy and doing it, but there you go. You just kind of have to time it right, throw them into the spikes, and you'll get the unfortunate end trophy. Okay, so after you've gotten that trophy, or at the very least you finished off the fight, you'll see that you can take out that stone rot. But before you do that, there's actually a pretty nifty little hidden chest here. You're going to want to jump on this spinning cog that you just used, and you can ride it around. It's actually kind of easier to just let it take you, but either way, you'll want to jump all the way up here and grab this chest. Okay, so after you grab that chest, you'll want to go down the path where that stone rot was, and you'll activate these water wheels, these cogs, and you'll climb up here. As you're sort of like halfway to going through, you kind of will have to go that way to continue on. There'll be this cairn right here. Obviously, you can go ahead and use it, but if you look, there's a chest back through there. Pretty simple to grab. Go ahead and jump around this corner, and the chest is yours. Alright, so during that last encounter, I unlocked the tag team trophy. In order to do that, you just have to shift enemies into Abram 10 times. Alright, here we are after the boss fight of the chapter. We're pretty much right at the end of the chapter. As soon as you spawn in, you will see this conversation. Make sure you head over to it and activate it.
It's a sarcophagus.
Okay, now after you exit the room and you're just following the path, you will stop here momentarily to look down at the army heading into the doorway there, and from here, turn the first corner to the right, and this is the final collectible of the chapter. Alright, so a little ways into chapter number 5 now. There will be a cutscene, and you'll eventually arrive in front of this large water wheel structure. Once you make it here, immediately when you enter the area, turn left, and there is this thing you can climb up here. Go ahead and climb to the top of the wall. Then we're going to head to the end. You got to make a bit of a jump. You can just make it if you time it right. And then there is this chest sitting up here, sort of overlooking the area. Go ahead and grab that. All right, keep it moving, and not too long after you grab that last chest, there's that water wheel. You'll cross over to the other side, and then you'll use this swinging platform to get yourself up onto this ledge. After you do that, there's some enemies to take out. Take them out, head over this way to the right up the path, and then make a right around the corner, and there is another chest for us to grab. All right, so continue your way forward. You're going to make it up here. We were right down there. We were just down there, over there grabbing the chest. You'll free up this crane and jump up this way. And as soon as you head forward, you should see an optional conversation point right here. So run on up to it and have the chat, and we'll continue on.
Look at this view.
All right, so continue on. Head to the next area. You'll have an encounter here with some enemies. As soon as you take them out, before you head up to the right to continue on, if you look left under this large bridge, you can head right back here, break through this barricade, and there is another chest for you to grab. All right, keep it on moving, and you'll come across this area. You'll learn about the illusions and everything, and you'll have a cool little like walking section across the bridge. As soon as you are done, you'll be right here in front of this big giant statue. There is another optional conversation to have, so head up to it, and let's talk yet again. We can keep going.
A statue of the Lady of Artisans.
All right, keep moving through the chapter, and you're going to come across this area that has these 2 staircases on either side and a whole bunch of ruined structures sort of in the distance. Now, it's important to note, we are going to head to the left, but it's important to note that if you go to the right side up to the top, sort of where those 2 statues are up there, there is a rift that you can open, or one of the illusion rifts that you can look through. Make sure you do not do that, because we're about to get a trophy after this chest. So let's grab the chest first. So we're going to head down this path all the way down. And then through this wall, we can grab this chest. All right, so with the chest grabbed, we're going to go ahead and turn back around and out. And now we are going to get that trophy I was talking about. So you want to come down here. And if you carefully sort of walk forward...
That's a trap if I've ever seen one.
All right, so once you've fallen down here, now we'll be able to run up these stairs to the left. And if you see, make sure you do not hit square. From here, you can just run straight across.
What? How did you see?
And there is the trophy.
I can smell a bridge from miles away.
Okay, keep moving forward, and eventually you're going to make your way out to this large sort of courtyard area. There will be a bunch of enemies to fight, and you can open this big old thing up and see we're here at another one of these puzzles. Now, what we care about right now is if you look over to the right, you can actually see that that wall there is an illusion. We're going to head over there, pass on through, and grab our mana upgrade. Okay, and then while you're still in this area with the big illusion thing, You will want to make sure you do this puzzle and complete it without using any hints. I have them disabled. You might have as well. If not, it is... if not, you just want to make sure you don't press the right on the D-pad to get a hint. And yeah, as long as you finish the puzzle without a hint, you will get a trophy. Okay, so you're going to keep moving your way up through the chapter. There are a couple of these puzzles where, it's not puzzles, but you look through the illusion thing and the bridge sort of flickers in and out. There's 2 of them that you're going to cross. Once you've crossed the second one, you'll climb up the stairs, and this is what you need to do to continue through the chapter. But before you do that, there's a nice little room back in this way. You want to hustle through here, keep going, and then you can drop down and climb these stairs up to this chest. Alright, next you're going to open this gate after you grab that last chest and head through it. And once you do, you'll see the optional conversation here. So go ahead and grab this one.
Is this your Lord of Smoke?
Alright, so eventually you're going to make your way up here, and you'll have climbed all the way up. You'll activate this illusion thing, and you can see you can go across the bridge. Now, when you do this, if you look down, you'll see actually there's a chest down there, and it looks like you can get access to it from the left side. So what we're going to do is we are going to head back this way. You should have already taken out the stone rot to create that ladder. We're going to drop down, and this wall right here is actually an illusion. So we're going to go ahead and walk right through it. And then once we're here, we're just going to go ahead and make our way back to that chest. I'll meet you back over there. Alright, so traverse that pathway pretty quickly, and you'll make it down into this area for the treasure here. Alright, here we are moving forward through the chapter. You are going to get to this part where you can pop this big illusion portal open, and you can see the floors kind of shift with the clock there on the top. Okay, then once we're ready, we're going to go ahead and time it up. We know the sun is on the bottom, so we can jump to it now. And then the key is next, so we can jump to this one. And we know that this is an illusionary wall. So we jump over here and grab the last chest of the area, or of the chapter rather. Alright, so here we are immediately after that little clock puzzle. And you can see we are here. The only reason I'm calling this out is because this is a great place to kind of farm up any of your combat things. Like you can push enemies into the holes here. Some of the earlier combat trophies we were working on. I don't have the vortex ability yet, so I'm not going to be able to do the kill 4 enemies with the vortex. But I do at least have the rending arc, so if you have that, we can go ahead and work on that next. So this is pretty easy. This area is great because these enemies will group up if you kind of lead them around the hole. Like any edge of the hole, they won't fall into the hole unless you push them in. Okay, well, he ruins what I just said, but typically they won't unless you push them in. So you can group them up. Alright, so I've got 3 guys remaining. Oh, there's a 4th one who just spawned. They should be low enough to kill with the render strike, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll hold R2, cut them down, and there is the trophy. Alright, here we are now at the end of the chapter. You will have fought a boss fight, and you'll be in this room. Now, make sure before you leave the room to head over to this throne, and you can interact with it. It's important that you do this before you leave, because if you leave, you cannot come back, and you'll have to do the entire chapter again to do this. So make sure you come up to here, and yeah, let's go ahead and keep moving forward. All right, here we are in chapter number 6. We're right at the beginning of the chapter. You'll head towards this rope bridge right here. But before you get to the bridge, look to the left. There is a yellow or greenish lantern right here. And there's a chest right behind this wooden barricade. So go ahead and knock it down. Grab the chest. We can keep going. All right, so after you've grabbed that chest, you can just turn around and head over this way beyond the rope bridge to this cliff overlooking the ward down there and start the conversation.
Incredible.
All right, here we are in the first encounter in the chapter. You're going to come across your first snail, and there is a trophy to go along with this guy. We need to throw him into the lava like so. Oh, nope, just missed him. I don't have enough mana. Hopefully we can push him in, or we can have enough now to boost him into the lava like so. And there is an easy trophy to gather. Okay, with Lava Snail defeated and hopefully a new trophy under your belt, before you turn left to continue that way, we are going to turn to the right, and there is this little tiny path that we can jump to back in here, and a mana upgrade to grab. Alright, so here we are in the next combat section. We have to, I know that we already did the snail, but we actually need to send 5 enemies total into the lava, so we are going to begin working on that. Obviously won't get them all here in this encounter, but you can knock off 2 more. I will show you when I pop the trophy.
I wasn't too thrilled about that shockwave.
All right, there we go. Set 2 to their doom, and that is enough for 5, so now we can keep moving on. All right, continue on the story path, and this is one you really cannot miss. You're going to be in a combat encounter here with a couple of enemies, and there will be a conversation. I guess just to make sure, it's kind of hard to tell exactly where we are. So we start down there. We kind of like zip-lined sideways, if you can see. I am sideways on the wall. We zip-lined down from there. You jump across. You kind of have to go over this like horseshoe almost to get to here. Yeah, maybe that was more confusing than it needed to be. But anyway, if you just keep moving forward, like I said, look out. We fought 2 Dollsmen here, and then there is an optional conversation. Make sure you don't miss it. All right, continue on moving through the chapter. There will be a cutscene on a bridge, and then eventually you're going to be down here. You'll make your way through a wooden gate right there, walk forward, kind of climb up this way, and there will be an encounter with a Glamori and one of the lava snails. After you defeat them, if you look over there, there's a chest that we can grab, but we can't really reach it directly. Obviously, you're going to use this to move forward, so we're going to ignore that for now. Head over to the left, and you can see we can drop down right here. All we got to do is just follow this pathway backwards, climb up here, and we should be able to reach the treasure just that easily and get our next upgrade. All right, so you're going to keep moving forward. You'll have taken that ring that we ignored earlier up to here. And after you fight some enemies, you'll be able to just follow the path around. As you keep going, Abram will help you jump up this cliff here. You got to wait for him for a moment. There he is. We're going to jump on up to him. Once he helps you clamber up, then we are going to turn to the right. And if you remember that ring that we grabbed in Chapter 4, this is where we get a little bit of a payoff. We are going to do this and unlock another trophy. All right, with that done, turn around and head down the path. Ignore this ring for the moment. You're going to come left, head up the stairs. You can jump across here, and then down inside is this chest. Alright, so I've just unlocked the sword throw here in the skill tree. It's pretty long distance, so actually what we're going to do, I also have the vortex skill as well. So if you have these, then you can maybe do this all in the same go. But what we need to do with the sword throw, it's just L2 and square. We need to hit 4 enemies with it at the same time. I've got 4 of them kind of lined up here. There we go. You can just send it through them and hope that you get a little bit lucky. So there is that trophy. And now we're going to try to do the vortex trophy. You need a lot of mana for it, unfortunately, which is kind of the unfortunate part. But if you can manage to build up a little bit of mana, hopefully you don't kill any of them. And we're going to go ahead and cast it. That'll bring all 4 of them together. You'll get a multi-kill. And we've gotten 2 more combat trophies, so now we can keep moving forward. Alright, so we're going to continue on through the chapter, and that last encounter that I just showed you where I was getting the 2 trophies is the one where you want to stop, actually, to find another treasure. But this is post us learning our new dash move, like so. You're going to kind of make your way up the mountain. You're getting chased by lava pretty much the whole way. And you'll see, once you come to this area here, and you fight off those soldiers, then before you head forward, make sure you turn to the left, and there is a treasure here for us to grab. Alright, so after you and Abram get separated briefly, you'll reunite back up here towards the top. If you continue forward, there's some stairs here that you'll be able to run down, and then there's an encounter with a number of enemies. It's a pretty difficult fight, but once you clear them out, you can hang a right around these rocks here, and you'll be able to follow this path all the way back. You can skip fighting them and grab this chest first if you just fall down from the cliff up there, but I figure it's a little easier to show you where it's at. So go ahead and grab this chest, and that's the final collectible of chapter number 6. Alright, I'm pausing here because we do have a trophy we're getting ready to do, but there is obviously a pretty big spoiler with who the boss is of chapter 6. I mean, if you're playing through the game with me, I'm sure you can guess, but just anybody who's watching and don't want to be spoiled, you have the next 2 seconds until I'm going to start spoiling, so just a fair warning.
Are you even trying?
Alright, here we are in the boss fight with Zara now, and what we need to get her to do is that ability right there, but we need to be ready for it, and punch through it ourselves by using the blast ability, which is L2 plus R1. And there we go, we got it again. And if you're quick enough, you can blast it like that. Just some tips for you if you're doing this. She does it the most in in the first phase of her fight, and it's just easier to do when you're aggressive. Like, she'll only really use it if you're in her face a bunch and hitting her with a number of strikes. So you kind of want to be ready for it. She breaks through that wall super fast. You have to be quick. If you, for some reason, do too much damage to her and she goes to her second phase, you can always come in and reload the checkpoint. But anyway, that's that trophy. Good luck on grabbing it, and we can keep on moving forward. Alright, here we are at the beginning of chapter 7. You're going to push your way forward through the sort of broken bridge area where you're jumping across the bubbling lake, and you're going to get to the other side, and just before you go ahead and fight this snail, if you look to the right, there's a chest up here on this ledge. We'll go ahead and jump over and grab the first collectible of the chapter. Alright, not too far after, you're going to come up to this crane right here, and you'll be able to use it to rotate the platform into position like so. We'll jump across over to this, and then we will climb up to the top. And before you head left over that way, if you come around to the right and just kind of follow this pathway all the way back, there's another chest right here to grab. Alright, here we are now down in this next little section. We just crossed the crane area, and you'll come down here and use this once you do that. Once you get down here, there's a couple of enemies to take out, but after you dispatch of them, you can head over to this dial right here. And using this dial, you can rotate the bridge to give us access over this way. And then you'll jump across, pull this out, and you'll just need to be quick to make sure you can get there. And even climb up here instead of jumping across if you want. And you'll be up here where there is a chest in front of this old shack. Alright, so after that chest, you'll ride the zipline back down to this section. There'll be some stone rot right here that you'll be able to clear, so go ahead and clear that out. And then keep running. Look to the left, and you're going to have to swing this thing. But eventually you'll be able to climb up. And once you're up here, just turn left. And there's another chest for us to grab. Okay, keep moving along through the chapter. You'll enter this giant crypt that's sort of crumbling apart. Right at the beginning, you'll enter through here. There'll be some enemies to fight. And after you take them out, you'll just want to make a quick left around that debris. And then you can grab this chest. Alright, keep on moving through the chapter. You're going to come up to this door with the key symbol over top of it. You'll have to go to the right and sort of do this little like obstacle course with the spouts. And then once that's done, as soon as you enter through the gate, before you drop down and you continue fighting, you can head to the left here, dash across, and here is a chest on this ledge. Okay, so here we are a little bit farther forward now. I just crossed this puzzle, so you're going to come into the room from over there. And it's pretty straightforward. You just have to use some things that you can move in the water to kind of climb across. You're going to use this, this square thing in the water to get from there over to here. And then make sure you don't continue on because there's a chest right there. You can pull this thing as close as you want. You can't really get it. Whoa, I've never seen it do that. But you can pull it, and you can get it relatively close. This might, yeah, we should be able to reach that. You just need a big jump, dash, and grab the chest over here. Alright, as you move through the chapter a little ways, you'll come up to this triangular looking door. And this is the barrel puzzle. Now, in our trophy list, we need to complete this puzzle without using a hint. So I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. And then I will see you on the other side for our trophy pop. So good luck. Alright, there we go. It's a pretty simple puzzle. You should be able to figure it out. And that is barrel roll. Now we can keep going. Okay, so after you make your way out of the crypt, you will be outside in the sunlight again. And we are going to be moving through. You'll have some soldiers to fight here on this plateau. And you can see that's where the chest we want to grab is. Now we have our new ability. We can do that sort of the shift jump thingy. And we are going to use that to good effect right here. So we're going to go ahead and pull that out. That'll move this thing over here. We'll jump across to this using the dagger. And then we'll just work our way around. And we can jump across over to here to grab the mana upgrade. Alright, keep on moving, and eventually you'll reach this part where we're going to use these glowing rocks to jump across sort of this cavern. This is the second time that you'll use the rocks. The first one was just back there. But what we're going to do is we're going to jump to this rock, and then we're going to use it to land down here. Now, if you look, this is where we're supposed to go, down through that cave, but there's actually a ledge up to the right, and we're going to use that rock up there. So we're going to jump to this one. Then we can jump to this guy, and then we can jump across and grab the chest. This is the final collectible of chapter number 7. All right, here we are now in chapter number 8. You're going to make your way pretty quickly to this area where there's a bunch of wooden buildings, things like that. You'll fight an enemy here. And before you move forward, you can see there's actually a chest over that way. Pretty simple. All you got to do is just
something over there.
Jump across here. Like so. And we'll make our way to the chest for the first collectible of the chapter. Alright, keep on moving forward, and after you learn how to use the purple iron sand orb things, you will make your way up here into this camp. After you clear out the enemies, and before you move forward into sort of that cave-looking area, if you turn left, you can see there's actually a little thing you can jump to, and on this walkway is an upgrade, a health upgrade. Okay, keep going through the chapter. Eventually you'll enter this room here at the end of the sewer. You'll need to open this gate using this thing to grab the iron sand, and then we'll throw it into the 2 spots here. You can obviously go ahead and pull these out. We'll just jump up there real quick, and then at the top of this you'll see this chest immediately. Go ahead and grab it. Alright, so continue through the chapter. We'll have just completed this little sort of puzzle looking thing where you've got the couple of iron sand. You have to climb up here to get to this ledge. Now you may have seen the chest through the wall right there. We're going to go ahead and grab it so you can drop down here. Just head through this archway and then immediately look left, jump across, and the chest is right here. Alright, so I'm a little bit farther into the chapter, and now there's one final combat trophy we need. Well, I guess technically one final non-boss related combat trophy that we need. And I have come in here, and I have fully unlocked our, well, not, I guess not fully, but I've come all the way to the end and unlocked a friend in need, which is a companion ability for Abram. And now all we need to do for a trophy is to let these guys kill us, which is not that hard on this difficulty. So now that we fall, we're not dead yet. We'll get rezzed here by Abram, and a trophy will pop as well. So now we can keep moving forward, and yeah, keep working on those combat trophies if you haven't gotten them all. And I'll see you in the next part. Alright, so keep moving on through chapter number 8. And eventually you will be reunited with our good friend in Abram. And as you're moving forward, you're going to learn that Abram can help you with the iron, sand, and things like that. Eventually you'll cross this sort of mountain cliff area, and then you'll come over here to where we were just fighting and just got that last trophy. So after you clear out the enemies, there is a very obvious optional conversation to grab right here on the cliff edge. So do that, and we can keep moving forward.
The mountain. Is that where we're going?
All right, so from this conversation point, we're going to turn and head this way, and this is actually the way you have to go to get the iron sand to get across that next ledge. The iron sand's right here. But before you grab said iron sand, come up here and kind of hang off the ledge. And now what we're going to do is a little tricky. Might take you a couple tries, but we're going to drop down, use your double jump and dash to get over to this platform. And once you're on the platform, there is a chest here for you. All right. Here we are in the very next area that you go to. It'll be a decently large encounter, and there's all kinds of machinery and stuff all around. After you clear out the enemies, you're going to head over to this wooden building. Just going to turn the corner here, jump across, and there is a chest waiting for us behind the way. So go ahead and grab that. All right, so here we are a little bit farther forward. Now, again, just a heads up for spoilers for the boss fight in Act 8, or in Act 8, Chapter 8. There's a trophy we need to get from this fight, so you have been warned. I will have spoilers on the screen here in just a few seconds, so if you want to skip that, go ahead. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so here we are in the fight with Auric. Eventually some enemies, some guards will spawn to help him. And all we need to do is to toss one of these enemies directly into him, and of course that didn't work. See if we can't get this guy. There we go. Throw him into Auric, and that is enough for a trophy. Now we can keep going. All right, so after the boss fight is complete, you will exit out of that sort of arena area and come up this way. If you look up to the right, there's actually the chest that we are getting ready to go grab. So go ahead and head straight here. We're going to want to climb up this. And then once you're up here, we just got a little bit of running to do. We're going to head straight. We can't go through there right now. We need to take care of the stone rot. So head around the corner. Keep following the path. We can destroy this. Walk along here.
Yeah, I'll be back in a moment.
And you can make your way over to the chest. So there we go. All right, so here we are, continuing forward. You are going to make your way up to this big crane. You'll jump up here. Abram will help you up a couple of times, and then you'll be on this this ledge. Before you head up those stairs there to continue forward, you want to turn left towards this crane, and there's a chest sitting right here by this barn-looking structure. Go ahead and grab it. All right, keep moving through the chapter, and after a pretty decent climb, like we start down there and you kind of climb your way all the way up here. Once you get up to the top, you'll come across this area where there's two big cranes. There's a chest over there for us to grab. The easiest way to do that is to just adjust these cranes. We don't need both of them, but I think I'm just going to use both of them just to make it easier. Spin this around. And as long as you grab this guy, yeah, you can just jump straight to there from that. You don't even need to use the other one, so go ahead and grab this chest and we can keep on moving forward. All right, so continue through the chapter until you reach this upper part. You'll see we kind of came from down that way, again, with the crane and everything like that, or the multiple cranes, and you'll come up here, jump up this way, and now there is this mana chest that you can see in the distance. We're going to go ahead and jump across the gap. We need to grab that, but what we actually need to do is come over this way, and this is the path forward. You can see we'll do that to get over there. But we actually need this sand for our pathway, so we're going to go ahead and grab it and run it over. And now with the sand in place, we'll go ahead and pull this out, jump up to the crystal, like so. And then we can jump across and get the final collectible of the chapter.
What's this?
All right, here we are now in Chapter 9. We're pretty close to the beginning of the chapter, and we're right here at this sort of gate puzzle. And there is a chest down there that we need to go grab. So this is pretty straightforward. We're just going to open this up, pull this thing down, and then we're going to jump across to here. And while we're over here, we'll be able to make this jump over to this and cross underneath that gate. Then once you're through the gate, you're going to head over this way. Before you go through into that area, there is this down here. All we got to do is jump down, use our dagger to get across, and the health upgrade is ours. Alright, so we're going to keep moving forward, and you will be in this area where you've unlocked the newest of our abilities, and that's these little echo things that we can do when we're in this specific area. There's a little lift puzzle right here for you to do, so once you figure that out, you'll be up here at the top, and then you can climb up here, and obviously there is an optional conversation for you to grab overlooking this kind of nice scenery, so go ahead and do that.
So what sinks a city?
All right, so here we are. We took a little bit of a boat ride. We landed on this island here, and this gate was closed. And we needed to raise the gate to obviously continue with our little boat ride. After you do that, you're going to be up there. You can just go ahead and drop down, and then immediately turn to the right. And there is a chest sitting in here for you. All right, so in the boat now, after you pass through the gate that you just opened, we will head through the glacier right here, the large ice thing. Continue forward, and we are going to make the first left that we can. So turn the boat hard there and head left, and then should be able to see it here in just a moment. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and dock right up there. So I'll meet you over there. With the boat landed, you can come up here. There's a couple of enemies that you need to dispatch really quick, and then you will have this chest to grab. So go ahead and do that. All right, so now we have just landed the boat in the next dock. You'll be able to find this one easily. Just head down the story path. There's only one way you can go, and one dock you can land on other than the one that we were just on. So once you land here, then if you look to the left, that's where we need to go to continue through this little island area. But first and foremost, we're going to head around this corner. There's a little ledge we can double jump up to here, and a chest sitting for us right there. So go ahead and grab that. All right, so after you raise the bridge and you get back in the boat, you'll be continuing to sail. We're, again, just following the one pathway we can go down underneath that glacier. And we're going to turn the corner here, and you'll see there is this building. Kind of looks like a silo almost. It's a large circular building that we are going to head to first. It's another optional area. There's a statue there that you can see kind of peeking over the edge of the mountain. Don't head left. Go straight around this, and you can find a little gap between the ice for us to cruise on back. Now you can go ahead and dock the boat here. Now, once you land on the dock, there will be a couple of enemies to take out. So go ahead and do that, and then directly underneath the statue is another chest. All right, so here we are now in the next section. We followed the story path, got out of the boat, and we're here unlocking the final gate of the area. This is another one of those puzzles where you need to solve it without using a hint. So if you have them disabled, good for you. If not, make sure you don't hit the right on the D-pad while you're solving this puzzle. So go ahead and solve it. I'll show you my trophy pop in a moment, and there's also a chest for us to grab here too, which I will show you as well. So let's get going.
Got it. Let's get back to the boat.
All right, there we go. It's a pretty straightforward puzzle. As long as you're not using a hint, you should unlock it, and we can keep moving forward. Okay, so on your way back down, you may have already gotten this as you were doing it earlier, but I just wanted to save it for after the trophy. So this is that same area. This is where the cube started, right? You pulled it out, and then you unlocked this door, whatever. So if you come over here, you can take away this stone rot as well, and this will help us get that chest. And how we do that is you can see that door is now open, and we're just going to line it up a little bit farther back with the stairs just so we can make it easy on ourselves, and then we can just jump from the top of the stairs over to there, up to here, and the chest is ours. All right, here we are now through the final gate into the next area, and we are going to just head straight, and we're going to stick to the left around this glacier, or ice, whatever it is, iceberg. We're going to continue staying to the left, because eventually it will come out here into this optional area yet again. So go ahead and dock. And just like the other optional areas before, take out the enemies, and this time head through this archway, and there will be another chest for you. Okay, continuing down the path in the story, you're going to make your way to this cool-looking city. We'll have just slid down here, and prior to that, we actually just went through some caves and things. So caves, into the slide, and now you're down here. And once you are here, you'll have to fight some enemies in this area, like kind of by this statue. And if you take this statue as point of reference and you turn left, there are some stairs over here that we can climb up. And grab this stone rot. Get that out of the way. Okay, so once you're through to this side, before you head to the right and on to the next path, there is a chest that we can grab. So we're going to head over to this, and we are going to get our echo. And now just run up the stairs, and the chest is actually right in here in this locked room. We just need to come here, spawn the echo. And then down this way, you can see is the trigger to activate the room. See the gate there just went down, so spawn in and come through and grab the chest. All right, keep moving your way through the chapter. Eventually you will reach another one of these ice slides. Once you make it down to the bottom, there will be a couple enemies to take out down here. And we're going to keep moving forward. Before you head to that direction to continue on, just cut around this corner. You'll be able to drop down here, keep turning right, and then in this little crevice, like a little outcropping thing, is another chest. Go ahead and grab it. All right, here we are now at the end of Chapter 9. We have fought the boss of the chapter, and we are making our way through this valley. You'll slide down some ice there and into this blue jumpy thing. And once you make your way over to here, you'll kind of be faced with two paths. You can go either left or right. You'll want to just head to the right. And then you'll jump up on this ledge. And here is the final collectible of the area. All right, here we are in Chapter 10. We are making our way through said chapter. You're going to be in this big, city area, and there's going to be all kinds of stuff going on, things flying all over the place. You're going to make your way through it, and right here, before you kind of climb up to this area that I'm in, you clear out a stone rot. It's the only stone rot you're going to find along the path. So you clear out that stone rot, then you climb up here, you fight some enemies, and as soon as that fighting is done, before you go left to continue, turn to the right, and you can blast this down and find the first chest of the chapter. All right, keep moving through the chapter, and you're going to come across this big, large dome-looking structure. Once you get here, there will be a number of enemies to fight inside, so make sure you take them out. But before we go to the right through that gate, we are going to head up here, and we can open this left gate as well. So we're going to hit that. You'll see that will open, and we can drop on down here. And then once you're through the gate, just turn left, and in this wooden little shack area is the next chest. All right, keep on moving through the chapter, and you're going to come up to this door. Eventually, you'll have just crossed this gap using those two blue things in the crumbling buildings. After you cross the gap, there'll be a whole bunch of enemies in this area as well. Take them all out. And then between these two kind of stick bundles right here, if you head to the left, there is the final chest of the game, the last collectible of the entire game. Congratulations to you on that. Let's go ahead and grab it. And now, I didn't pop the trophy because, unfortunately, my save game did not save one of the earlier chests in one of the earlier chapters. So, on my second playthrough, I'm going to grab that again, and all will be right in the world. I'll show my trophy pop then, but if you've been following along, you didn't miss anything, you should have popped that trophy here. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. And there we go. End of the game. We got challenge accepted as well for beating it on challenging without converting the difficulty. So I hope you have enjoyed. There are a couple things we need to clean up. We have another speed run to do, but really, you have made it this far. You've overcome the I wouldn't say the most difficult. I mean, the game's really not that difficult, but you overcome the challenges, I guess. I don't know why I'm going into a spiel. Let's just get into the next part, and I'll save it all for the end. I'll see you there. All right, so with the game done, we can go ahead and start our second playthrough. This time, we need to finish the game in under 10 hours. That's our big goal throughout the rest of this run. But since we're playing on New Game Plus this time, which I would recommend, you don't have to, but I would highly recommend doing it because there are some trophies that we need to grab that pretty much require New Game Plus. Since we are going to be playing on New Game Plus, there's also a couple of boss-related things that we can do that'll be a little bit easier. And yeah, so this will be a pretty straightforward game, new game, but you will have to go play all the way through, beat the game again. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. Head on down to New Game Plus. Obviously, pick the game that you want to do, and you can see collectibles and things carry over. So kind of like in my case where my game didn't save one of the collectibles that I grabbed, I can go back through, or you can go back through and grab the ones that you may have missed during the first playthrough. So make sure you do that, and then you'll just want to save and override the old save. So yeah, we can go ahead and start a new game. I will see you very soon. Oh, I forgot, by the way, that you can select your difficulty. I would recommend playing on story just because you can kill a lot of enemies very quickly on this game mode. It'll make the speed run much easier. So go ahead and pick story if you want. If not, play on whatever you want. And yeah, let's go. You can skip cutscenes, by the way, if you just hold X. That'll make the run even faster. Just an extra quick tip for you. All right, so I'm a little ways through chapter 1, and I have all of these skill trees that are pretty much done. I'm just waiting on getting my final levels. So we're just going to go ahead and start unlocking these. Each one that you unlock here does earn you a new trophy. So theoretically what I could do is, since I only need one more for each of these skill trees, I could just unlock it, reload the save, come back in, and unlock all of them, but it seems like a waste of time because we're going to have to continue playing through the game anyway. So I'm just going to start with the technique tree. We'll unlock this final one, and then we'll keep moving forward. So let's do that. And there is the Master of Arms trophy. And yeah, I'll update you when I get my other skill levels, and we'll keep upgrading the tree. All right, so here we are on the first boss of the game. Now, what we need to do is we need to earn a trophy by getting the final blow on a boss with 10% or less health. You may have already gotten this in your first playthrough. I did not, so we're here now doing it now. I kind of let him wail on me a little bit. I took him down to low health. The health that I'm at should be good enough. I'll probably let him hit me one more time. He shouldn't kill me. Actually, that one does kind of hurt, so hold on. We'll let him do something like that. Okay, so now that we're under that total amount of health, go ahead and strike him down. It's a pretty easy trophy, especially on story mode. You can really control how much health he takes off of you. So there we go. Now let's keep moving on. All right, with that boss defeated, I also earned a skill point as well. So we're going to come into the skill tree, and we'll go ahead and finish off the vestige tree next. Pop that trophy as well, and we are making good progress. All right, I grabbed another skill point now, so we can come down here and finish off the endurance tree as well. Obviously, we can't do the companion tree until we meet up with Abram, but we're pretty close to that. So anyway, let's go ahead and finish off yet another skill tree, and we can keep moving forward. Master of Defense is ours. All right, so still here in Chapter 1, we're going to fight Zara again, rather for the first time, I guess, in the game, and we need to defeat her in this fight. So you should have plenty of both, skill in the game and also skills with your character to take her down pretty easily. It shouldn't be too hard. She really doesn't do that much damage, as you see, and you just need to, wail on her for a while. You obviously won't kill her, but, once you take her out, then you'll get the trophy. So I will see you when I'm done with that. So there we go. You only need to take her down to half health or so, and that will do it. So we got the trophy, and now we can move on. All right, so I finally made it back to the chest that didn't save for me earlier. I just popped it now, and there is the trophy for all the
See
collectibles.
the gates.
So hopefully you should have that as well. And if not, continue collecting. But yeah, let's keep moving on. All right, I just got my final skill point that I need to finish off the companion tree, and that will be the last of the trophies that we need for doing this. So let's go ahead and grab that. There we go, and now we are only a few trophies away. A couple more boss-related trophies, and then, of course, the speedrun trophy, and we can call it quits. So I will see you in just a little while. All right, here we are at the end of Chapter 5. We are fighting the boss, and now for a trophy, we need to defeat him without taking a single point of damage. And the way we do that is obviously by avoiding his attacks. You can stun him with your blast. It's a great way to get some good damage off on him. Of course, stay away from his blade, things like that. So stun and do that. And now, of course, when you're here, if you do take some damage like I just did there, you can always come in and hit reload checkpoint. One thing to note too is you can get him down to his second phase as long as you haven't taken any damage. You'll go into that phase and it will save another checkpoint. So when you reload the checkpoint, you'll be in phase 2 without a point of damage still, so you don't have to restart all the way through. You can just start from where you were there in the second phase, and then yeah, it's so just one thing to note when it comes to reloading the checkpoint, he has multiple phases. I'm sure you know that if you've already fought him. If you get him down into his second phase, it saves a new checkpoint. So if you go into that phase without having taken a hit, you can reload the checkpoint. It'll come right back to that point, and you won't have had a hit on you. So you can do just phase 2, get to the end without taking a hit, kill him, and it will still count. So all right, so there we go. Take him out, and we can keep on moving forward. GG. All right, so I decided after taking out the boss there and grabbing that trophy that I would do a quick check-in to show you my time up to this point after Chapter 5. I'm at time played 2 hours and 43 minutes. Again, we have 10 hours to get through this game. So we have plenty of time to do the final 5 chapters, but let's keep going, and I will see you in just a little while. All right, here we are on the final boss fight. Very similarly to the Embark fight earlier, we need to win this without taking any damage. It's the exact same things apply here that applied in the last one. If you get hit, make sure you restart the checkpoint. If you reach a new phase, it will save a new checkpoint for you, so you don't have to worry about necessarily restarting the fight all the way forward. Just make sure you don't take any hits before the next phase, and you won't have to replay the chapter. So I will see you there after we complete it. Good luck. All right, there we go. No hit wonders in the books. And that does it for Need for Speed. All right, I just wanted to come in here, show you what my final time was. I'll go ahead to load game. 5 hours, 36 minutes, and that was with some downtime. You know, I really did not rush the final 5 chapters, just kind of took my time getting through everything. So, yeah, you have plenty of time to beat that speedrun and the plat pop as well. GG. And there we have it, folks. That is it for Echoes of the End. I hope that you all have enjoyed this guide. I hope you enjoyed the game. If you did enjoy the guide, it really helps to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the guides with your friends. Visit our website. We have written guides and stuff coming out now too, www.platpursuit.com. If you haven't checked us out yet, I highly recommend that you do. We've got a lot of cool stuff already. We've got a lot more cool stuff coming too. But I do want to thank everybody for watching. The support has been fantastic as always with all of these guides. and I'm looking forward to putting out more and more as time goes on. So let me know what you want to see next. And until I see you again in the next guide, stay safe, enjoy your platinuming, and I will see you then. GG.